Show me the money.
Hey, it's me. Knock, knock. So, you got my money?
Think about it. You're dealing with numbers all day long. Decimal points, high frequencies, bang, bang, bang. Digits, all very acidic, above the shoulders mustard shit. Right? Kind of wig some people out. Right? You gotta feed the geese to keep the blood flowing. I keep the rhythm below the belt.
I want to stay in Arizona. I want my new contract. Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money!
Where's my money? You gonna give me my money? Where's my money, man?
Welcome back to Capstrapped. I'm Max Dean. You can find me on Twitter at PanAmFootball. And today we are going to be talking about the Ben Roethlisberger contract, or rather the Ben Roethlisberger Paycut. So, as always, I get all my numbers from overthecap.com and spottrack.com. And if you like the content, throw me a like and hit subscribe. Because I enjoy doing this, but it really helps to get the word out there. And the more you interact, the more you guys subscribe, the more I get out there, trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, which would be really fantastic. And it would definitely justify to my wife why I'm out here doing this stuff every single night, or many nights. Okay, so Ben Roethlisberger. What's up with all the void years, and what's up with the pay cut? Let's talk about it. This was the contract before anything was done to it. It had a base salary of $4 million and a roster bonus of $15 million for a total of $19 million that was due to Big Ben this year. He already had a $22.25 million prorated bonus from years past, which had accumulated into 2021. That was money that he had already been paid via various signing bonuses and option bonuses and whatever the case was. So he had a cap hit of $41.25 million. And that was basically not doable for the Steelers. They couldn't get under the salary cap with a cap hit that big for Big Ben. So they had to do something. What I had proposed, and this was a little unusual for them because the Steelers, they don't like to do void years. And again, I talked about it in the other video at length. But I suggested that they do 2 void years, and that would bring the cap hit down substantially and probably put them in a situation where they could have gotten under the cap with some other roster moves. So what did they do? They said, we're going to do all the void years. We're going to do every single void year. We're gonna complete 180 on how we do things for this contract, and we're going to go all void years. We're going to put 4 void years on there. Why 4? Because you can prorate for 5 years. There's 1 year of actual contract left. It maximizes what you can do for your cap hit this year. So this is what it looks like. They converted every single dollar possible from his base salary and his roster bonus into a signing bonus, and that spread out over the 5 years. Don't forget that $22.25 million is still there from the previous proration. So you add 1/5 to that, and the other 4/5 are evenly distributed over those 4 years, the 4 void years. When you're looking at the cap hit and the potential dead money, that's because proration accelerates once a player is no longer under contract. So even though it looks like there are 4 void years with $2.585 million in prorated money per year, in actual practical effect, it's really just pushing off $10.34 million to next year. Yes. Is it written into the contract such that it's the 4 years with it's spaced out like that? Yes. But once he retires next year, or whatever the case is, or goes to sign with another team, this is what it's going to look like. He's going to have a $10.34 million dead cap hit, and that's just the way that it works. It accelerates. The only way that you can avoid that is if you sign him to an extension, which, you know, would keep that prorated money in place. It would stop it from accelerating, but you'd also obviously have more money that you were paying him as well. But if he's not on the team, that's what it's going to look like. So here's just an example of it, just kind of dumbed down, simplified. This is what it's going to look like. He's going to have a cap hit this year of $25.91 million. He's going to have a cap hit when he's not on the team next year of $10.34 million. But here's the caveat, and this is the thing that really it's what makes this interesting. It's like 4 void years, fine. It just spreads out the money. It's the pay cut that they asked him to take, and there was a little bit of back and forth in the media, like the way that the team and Ben were kind of talking to each other through the media, which is really unusual for the Steelers. They don't normally do business in that way, but I guess they really wanted to play hardball because, they wanted him to take a pay cut. He was like, I'm already going to be playing for under market value. $19 million in a year for a franchise quarterback, even of his age, is below market value. And let's look at it. Top 10 quarterback contracts average per year. Where's $19 million? Not even close. Not even close to that. So let's expand. Top 15 quarterback contracts. Still not even close. So you're asking Ben Roethlisberger, who is, an 18-year franchise quarterback, 2-time Super Bowl champion, to cut his contract, which was already below the 15 highest, most compensated players at his position, to go even lower than that. Let's keep going. So he is the 16th most highly compensated player. The only guys that he is beating out in terms of annual value are Dalton, Taysom Hill, Ryan Fitzpatrick, guys who are not even guaranteed starting spots on their team, and then a bunch of guys who are draft picks, who are still stuck on rookie contracts. So it blows my mind that they felt the need to push him that far down when he was already below them as it was. I mean, to ask him to go below Teddy Bridgewater, it's crazy. I mean, even guys like Phillip Rivers and Tom Brady and Drew Brees, they were all earning around $25 million per year, and Roethlisberger is in that same kind of age group. So it's really weird to me that they played hardball like that, for this player who's been, a pillar of the team for so long. You might say, well, they really needed it. They were so cap strapped this year. They really needed that extra money. But if you think about it, it doesn't actually change what their cap hit was this year or their situation hardly at all. So look at it this way. Remember, it was a $5 million pay cut, and that $5 million is spaced out over 5 years. So what does it actually save you? If you do the $5 million savings? Very little this year. I mean, look at it. The top one is what it actually is. The bottom is what it would have been if they left his how much he got the same and just did the same number of void years. His cap hit is currently $25.91 million. His cap hit this year would have been, if they left him all his money, $26.91 million. What? The fact that they needed to do that is it's they may have wanted to. Did they need to? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, look at what's the difference? What is the difference that $1 million is going to make? It doesn't make a difference. It does not make a difference. For a guy like a mid-level guard who's making $5 million, and you want to ask him to go down to 4, and you guarantee him 3, right? So that you save a little bit here and a little bit there. That's reasonable, right? It's a chunk of his money. When you're cap strapped, you've got to try and cut corners here and there. This guy, Ben Roethlisberger, has been your franchise quarterback for going into his 18th year. He has won the Super Bowl twice with you and been to a third one. Like, it's just insane to me that they're going to pinch $1 million on the salary cap for this guy. It's crazy. You know, yeah, they would have had to have a little bit more on the back end, whereas next year they'll be hit with a $10.34 million charge as it stands. They would have been hit with a $14.34 million charge as it stands. But again, you know, if you can't work with that, then what are you even doing? Like, what are you even doing? Like, where's the goodwill after all this time? It's crazy. So anyway, that's just my little rant about, you know, the Steelers and that. I mean, is it a tough stance? Is it good business? It's a tough stance, you know. Is it really good business? I mean, what kind of message does that send to the rest of your players? It's like if I were the Steelers going into this offseason, or going into this season, I don't know like what kind of like morale there would be surrounding the team. I mean, they've got vets retiring. They've watched guys go in free agency. You know, Pouncey retires, Dupree leaves. I know they're gonna have to pay Watt. Trust me, I understand that. But that should not be like, that's not gonna stop them from getting it done. So, enough's enough. I won't go on about it any longer. But with all of the good dealings that they've done for the most part, the general way that they do business, which I like for the most part, it just seems so weird to buckle down on this, you know? I mean, if Ben had come out and been like, yeah, I want to do it, let's do it, it's my idea. Or, you know, they asked me and I said, yeah, I want to do it to give our team a fighting chance. But he didn't want to do it. He shouldn't have wanted to do it. I'm surprised he did it. I mean, they must have really said, like, if you don't do this, we're going to cut you. Which is mind-blowing. All right, guys, thank you so much. Remember, you can find me on Twitter at PanAmFootball. And if you like the content, subscribe and throw a like my way. If you have requests, throw them in the comments. If you have questions, throw them in the comments or hit me up on Twitter. And I'll see you all soon with the Aaron Jones contract.